I want to wear a suit to my wedding, but my fiancé won't let me and believes I'm a lesbian in denial. For context, I've worn suits exclusively since high school graduation. I have zero dresses, hate makeup, never shaved my legs regularly. My fiancé knew this for 5 years. Yesterday, I asked what suit he wanted for our wedding. He was shocked I wasn't getting a dress. We've been fighting ever since. He said our wedding would look ridiculous, like he was marrying a lesbian in denial. He wanted a beautiful bride, not whatever I was. I snapped back that he should wear the dress since I didn't want an ugly groom. Today, we tried talking again. That's when he dropped the bomb. He hates my suits, hates everything about me, my lack of femininity, my hobbies, my appearance. He said I only look like a woman when I'm naked. Then he said the wedding dress thing was just the last straw, that I'd never get any better. I sat there in silence as this man calmly listed everything he despised about the person he supposedly wanted to marry. That's when I realized something. If he hates everything about me, why is he even here? I asked him that exact question. His face went pale. He stammered for a minute before admitting the truth. My family's loaded. His parents have been pressuring him to marry me for my inheritance since we started dating. They'd been coaching him on what to say, how to act interested. But here's where it gets crazy. I pulled out my phone and started recording. Say that again. About the money. He panicked and tried to grab my phone, but I was quicker. He repeated everything. How his family was in debt. How they'd researched my family's net worth before he even asked me out. How they had a whole plan to get me pregnant quickly so divorce would be more expensive for me. The recording was crystal clear, his voice breaking as he admitted he'd never loved me, just my bank account. I looked at him and said, well, I guess you'll be wearing that dress after all, to someone else's wedding. But I wasn't done. See, my family doesn't just have money. We have serious influence. My dad's a prominent criminal defense lawyer. My mom sits on several charity boards and knows everyone in our city. Within 24 hours, I'd sent that recording to his parents, his boss, his entire friend group, and posted it on social media with the caption, "When gold diggers think they're slick." His mom called me sobbing, begging me not to ruin their family reputation. His dad tried to threaten legal action until my father got involved and reminded them about fraud laws. The best part? His job fired him for character concerns after the recording went viral at his company. Apparently, gold digging doesn't look good when you work in financial planning and need client trust. His friends started sharing stories in the comments about other sketchy things he'd done over the years. Turns out I wasn't his first target, just his most successful one. 2 weeks later, I found out he'd been cheating with his coworker the entire time we were engaged. She came forward after seeing the recording, saying he'd told her I was just a business arrangement and he'd leave me right after the wedding ceremony. She'd been planning to be his side piece until she realized what kind of person she was dealing with. She actually apologized to me and said she had no idea he was lying to both of us. Called off the engagement that night. Kept the ring though. Legally, it was a gift. And my lawyer father confirmed I had every right to it. Sold it and donated the money to LGBTQ+ youth organizations, specifically ones that help kids whose families reject them. 6 months later, I'm planning a much smaller wedding. To a woman who loves my suits almost as much as I do, and who proposed to me in a matching tuxedo in the same park where my ex used to complain about my masculine appearance. Plot twist. I actually am gay. Just took a manipulative, gold-digging narcissist to help me figure it out. Best breakup of my life. His family ended up having to sell their house because of all the debt they'd hidden. Last I heard, he's working at a gas station and still single. Thanks for the self-discovery, Derek. The suit looks amazing at my real wedding.
People who work in IT, what's the wildest thing you've discovered had to do while at work? Got hired at a manufacturing company to fix their computer problems. First day, I noticed employees running between workstations carrying USB drives labeled with customer names. Strange for a place with 40+ computers networked together. Turns out, their previous IT guy, who was actually the owner's nephew with computer skills, had convinced everyone the network was too dangerous to share files. For 3 years, every single file transfer happened via USB drives they called data shuttles. When someone finished a design file, they'd yell "shuttle" across the office. Then a designated runner, usually an intern, would grab the right USB, physically carry it across the building, and plug it into another computer. They had a whole system with color-coded drives and a sign-out sheet. The absolute madness, their computers were networked. Perfectly functioning Ethernet cables connected to every workstation. But the nephew had disabled file sharing and told everyone the cables were just for internet. The owner proudly explained their system, much more secure than sending files through the air where hackers can grab them. I didn't have the heart to tell him hackers don't literally pluck files from the air. But here's where it gets truly bizarre. They had one printer for the entire company. Since they couldn't print over the network, nephew's rules, they had a dedicated print station computer. To print anything, employees had to shuttle files to this one ancient Dell desktop connected to an equally ancient HP LaserJet. The print line could take hours. People would miss deadlines waiting for their turn with the sacred print shuttle. When I suggested fixing their network to enable file sharing and networked printing, the owner looked horrified. But our proprietary designs, our security. The nephew had convinced him their shuttle system was military-grade security against corporate espionage. Rather than argue, I created a basic PowerPoint with complicated-looking diagrams. I showed him how hackers target networked files, but explained I could implement a directed packet exchange protocol, completely made up, that would make their network more secure than shuttles. For authenticity, I included a progress bar that said "Securing Node Endpoint" while installing standard Windows file sharing. I renamed the network to Secure Hardened Network and changed the desktop backgrounds to include a small shield icon. Next day, I demonstrated the new system where files moved through secure encrypted tunnels, regular network shares. People were amazed they could access files instantly without yelling "shuttle" across the room. Production speed doubled within a week. The owner was thrilled, but insisted we keep 2 USB shuttles as backup in case the secure tunnels go down. 3 months later, the nephew visited and nearly had a meltdown seeing the network in use. He cornered me in the break room. "What did you do? Those computers aren't secure." The owner overheard and proudly explained, "Actually, he implemented directed packet exchange protocols, much more advanced than your shuttle system." The nephew left muttering about backdoor vulnerabilities. A year later, I still get emails from them whenever Windows updates, asking if the secure tunnels are still intact. And yes, they still keep those 2 backup shuttles in a locked desk drawer, just in case. Actually, the craziest part? Last Christmas, the owner gave everyone in the company custom-engraved USB drives with "Emergency Shuttle Team" printed on them. Mine says, "Chief Tunnel Officer." I keep it on my keychain as a reminder that sometimes in IT, the real solution isn't fixing the technology, it's working around the humans.